The narcissist wants to be unique, sui generis, special, unprecedented, one of a kind. That's what he wants to be. One of a kind, anything. One of a kind, rich. One of a kind, powerful. One of a kind, intelligent. One of a kind, handsome, like me. One of a kind. But if he cannot be any of these, it's okay to be one of a kind loser, unprecedented failure, amazing victim. And that's why you see online today nonsense, nonsensical concepts.
Hello everybody, I'm Coach Eleanor. For more information about me, look in the description below. This video is with Prof Sam Vaknin. He teaches at universities all over the world. If you want to have more information about him, look in the description. I put all the information. If you like this video, then like this video. If you want to see more of this kind of videos with me and Sam Vaknin, then subscribe, because I'm going to have more and more interviews with him. And if you have any questions for me or for him, put it in the description below, and who knows, your question is going to be in our videos. Most narcissists likes to be called the biggest jerk, but if you say you're just a friendly face in the crowd, that's for me, I rather be a friendly face in the crowd. I rather have someone say that to me, then I feel good. But someone says bad names, then it's not so good. So I heard you say lately, but this is also because if they are a loser, the biggest loser, or the biggest victim, or the failure, and that's what a little bit surprised for me, because so it's all about standing out of the crowd.
Yes. Before I answer this question, with your permission, there's something I want to add to the previous question. Both borderlines and narcissists have something called object inconstancy or object impermanence. It means that if the intimate partner is not present physically, they have difficulty to maintain a representation of the inner partner in their minds. So the borderline, out of sight, out of mind. When she is not with her intimate partner, she has difficulty to remember him. Some borderlines cannot remember his face. It's as bad as that. And narcissists are the same. They have object inconstancy. So when the intimate partner is not there, they're terrified, like little children that have been abandoned by mommy. Okay, so that's about the previous question. Now about this question. The narcissist wants to be unique, sui generis, special, unprecedented, one of a kind. That's what he wants to be. One of a kind, anything. One of a kind, rich. One of a kind, powerful. One of a kind, intelligent. One of a kind, handsome, like me. One of a kind. But if he cannot be any of these, it's okay to be one of a kind loser, unprecedented failure, amazing victim. And that's why you see online today nonsense, nonsensical concepts which have no bearing on psychology, like empath, like emotional flashbacks, like shy borderline. These are actually narcissistic people who want to feel special. So they feel special as victims.
Yeah.
They feel special. I'm not a regular borderline, I'm a special borderline.
Yeah.
I'm a shy, quiet borderline, you know. I'm not just any victim. I'm an amazing victim. I am the victim. There's never been a victim like me, and my abuser is the worst abuser that has ever abused on this planet. And that makes me a galactic supernova empath. I'm not kidding you. There is a supernova empath.
Yeah.
And similarly, emotional flashbacks, which are a nonsensical, absolutely nonsensical term, propagated by non-academics like Pete Walker and others. They make you feel special. It's about feeling special. And one of the main functions of feeling special is to get rid of personal responsibility, which is why narcissists are never personally responsible. Because if you are special, you can't help it. If you are unique, that means special rules apply to you. Because, and then you are not responsible, you're not accountable. You can't be expected to be like everyone else, to obey the same rules and regulations, to follow the same procedures, and to yield the same outcomes, because you're very special. You're an empath. You have emotional flashbacks for you. You are a shy, quiet borderline, and so on. So the position of uniqueness, one of the main functions, the position of uniqueness is to get rid of personal responsibility and accountability. And the other function is, of course, to sustain a grandiose defense. But it had penetrated, and now you see whole movements of so-called victims and self-styled victims who present themselves as angels, have no fault, can't do wrong, have been 100% victims of a force of nature known as the narcissist, and so on. This is self-aggrandizement.
Yeah.
These people are covert narcissists, actually.
Yeah.
They just don't know it.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people want to stay in the victim role. If you want to help people with therapy, and they resist. They resist.
They resist. They become
angry.
furious.
Yeah,
they become aggressive.
Angry. Yeah, that's
angry.
yeah. They don't want. They just like it in the victim role, and they don't want to get out. So, and then it's a therapist's fault if they don't succeed. But that's a difficult.
That's true.
Very difficult.
Recently, last year, there was a study published by Gabay, G-A-B-A-Y, and 20 others. A series of studies, actually 3 studies. And they suggested a new personality construct. They call it the TIV construct, the Interpersonal Victimhood construct. So they say that some people would defend their victimhood aggressively, would refuse to exit from victimhood because they make sense of the world through victimhood. Victimhood imbues their life with meaning, direction, goal. Victimhood make them special and noticeable. These people were nobodies, but then they went online and they have 20,000 followers,
Yeah.
Now they're somebody. And they're somebody by virtue of being a victim. If they were to announce tomorrow, I'm no longer a victim, I take responsibility for my contributions to the relationship, for my bad choices, for my mental health problems, if they declare this tomorrow, they will be left with 20 followers, not 20,000.
Yeah.
So they have a vested interest to perpetuate. And regrettably, this applies to many self-styled experts online, with and without academic degrees. They malevolently, in my view, perpetuate the victim myth and the victim stance.
Yeah.
With the aim of making money, simply.
Yeah.
Not to mention that the vast majority of them have no clue what they're talking about. Never published a paper on the topic, never participated in any conference, never studied the issue, and they declare themselves experts.
Yeah.
But the big ones, the ones with hundreds of thousands of followers, they are the ones who perpetuate deliberately a victim stance in perpetuity, forever. And they keep selling to these victims retreats and books and and counseling and so on, because it pays. It's very profitable. These people are criminals and con artists. They are. And I don't care if they have a doctor in front of the name.
Yeah. If the clients go away because you say this is also your responsibility, you can get out earlier, then you can work with someone. But if you can write a book, or you can give therapy, and you can change it around, and you can if you take another kind of approach, they stay longer. Just say, oh yeah, you're such a pity.
Poor you.
Yeah, and then they stay longer. I can do that, but I can't. But I know. The people stay, because it's also on the internet. It's more sensational to have pity stories, and oh, look what he did, and poor me. But if you say, oh, I take responsibility, and that's boring. That's not the story in it.
True, and it's manipulative. It's a manipulative technique. This is all outcome or integrated with very important social trends. Victimhood had become a bon ton, become a very dominant organizing and explanatory principle in modern life. Everyone is a victim because of sex, because of race, because of where you live, because of circumstance. Everyone is a victim. People define themselves more and more as victims. It was shameful when I was born. When I was growing up, this was shameful to be a victim. People were hiding it. They were hiding it. They never told anyone that they're victims. Today, it's a badge of honor. Everyone goes online. Hey, I just discovered wonderful news. I'm a victim. You know?
Yeah.
So there is this. There is also hatred of intellect, expertise, knowledge, and science. Absolute hatred. And if there is some idiot who claims to be an expert on narcissism and spews utter unmitigated rubbish and nonsense, and on the other hand, there is one of the world's leading experts on narcissism, academic expert, people will not listen to the academic expert. I will tell you a small story.
Yeah.
In one of my videos, I refer to Otto Kernberg. Otto Kernberg is the father of our modern understanding of borderline personality disorder. Definitely. I mean, Otto Kernberg is 80% of everything we know about borderline personality disorder. So I referred to him in some video, and I said to people, go to this channel and watch his video. So people were writing to me, he has no idea what he's talking about. It's total nonsense. Mrs. Mulchdog or some other idiot online, she knows borderline. He doesn't know borderline. You know? Some idiot who declared herself expert on borderline and so on. No credentials, no degree, no studies, no papers, nothing. Just came out of the blue and declared herself an expert. And so people, when they compare the real expert, Otto Kernberg, to her, they mock Kernberg. There is a hatred of academia. So people would get medical advice from the neighbor, but not from Dr. Fauci. Yes?
Yeah.
Because he's doctor.
Yeah.
There's a hatred there's anti-intellectualism, anti-expertise, which builds in with populism. And people, the minute you say you're from academia, no one would listen to you.
Yeah, that's strange. That's very interesting. But I can't understand because maybe they are stuck with the normal kind of people with their own level and they can relate to that more.
No, grandiosity. You know as much as Dr. Fauci.
Oh.
You know as much as Sam Vaknin about narcissism. You know as much as Kernberg about borderline. I mean, Kernberg has his view and you have your view. You're equal. You're
okay.
just equal, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, you know better than Kernberg because you have 2 friends with borderline. You know? So that makes you an expert. Or you read a book, by some guy who invented a nonsensical concept of emotional flashbacks, and that makes you an expert on emotional flashbacks. And you make a fortune from selling on this nonsense. Everyone is making a fortune. So there's money corruption and grandiosity involved. It's an irresistible combination. Some people get to the White House on this combination. Money and grandiosity, like Donald Trump.